We will continue with our program, and I'm really pleased to invite Dr. Radivoje Stojkovic. Professor Stojkovic is actually director of Gymnasium Jovan Ivanović Zmaj, but today he is also in the capacity of person, let me say, leading person in internationalization of our higher education. In this project, we have really good cooperation with this high school in organizing roundtables and discussions. And I think that we will hear more about new concepts and visions in this regard. So, Professor Stojkovic.
Poslao sam vaš mail u prezentaciju. It's okay. Thank you. It's yours. Ladies and gentlemen, any society wanting to survive and prosper focuses a lot of attention to educating the next generation, making it one of the most important foundations for sustained development and growth. Children playing outside today can tomorrow take the reins of the most important function in society. If those children are not met with a quality education, you are, in a sense, clipping their wings and limiting their future growth, leaving you with semi-educated individuals with an unbuilt system of values. Essentially, you are ensuring the downfall of those individuals and the downfall of society as a whole. No educational system is perfect, no matter how good it looks at first glance, because the passage of time brings forth changes in all segments of life that in turn requires changing and adopting the educational system. So, the educational system must follow the changes in society and technology, but it must do so while analyzing and maintaining all the positives and traditions. The educational system is always geared in the majority, or should we say to the average student. Yet, at the same time, we must remember that an average student does not exist. Each student is unique and special in his own way, and as there are no two identical people or fingertips, likewise, there can be no identical students. Of course, making a system in general requires all the unique students out there to adapt to it somewhat, but in turn it is necessary for the system to adapt to those students as well, even more so for the students that jump out in front of the pack. The system should take note of those students and enable them to develop their talents as much as they can. The topic of gifted children in the education of those children is one that modern science has been exploring for a very long time. Even defining the very terms giftedness and talent has brought about different theories and conceptions. We won't discuss them now, but we will mention those that are more or less universally accepted in modern theory. So, giftedness and talent are the traits of an individual seen as exceptional capability and potential, expressed by the speed, ease, and selfhood when acquiring knowledge and skills in a field in correlation to one's peers. The field in which those talents manifest can of course vary, being academical, artistic, sporty, or technological. So, in the mentioned potential is undefined, accordingly, and nurtured appropriately, it will blossom into achievements. The most important factor for developing those potentials are the environment of the student and the process of learning. In a word, education. As we are dealing with superior, special children, it is important to dedicate ample care and attention to them, as to give them the chance to, with adequate education adapted to them in their needs, meet their maximum potential, and by extension get the most achievements and merit. And in achieving that, society as a whole progresses. So the main task of those involved in the education process, namely educators, professors, teachers, recognizing the gifted children and enabling the interrupted development of their talents. This is a course requires the educators to consistently attend advanced training seminars and constantly gain competencies in this area of psychology and pedagogy while maintaining their focus on dedication to the needs and achievements of the children in their work. Serbia and the Serbian people have always been a hotbed of talents, ranging in different fields from science and art all the way to sport. Unfortunately, in the past more often than not, our talents were left underutilized or unused, or very simply used by richer societies and countries to aid in their development due to the better conditions allowed to them there. The best of the brightest young individuals left Serbia in search of a better environment to develop their potential and gain achievements. In recent history, we can classify Serbia as being turbulent and not at all favorable to the interrupted development of the society and people. Expressing a loss of life due to wars of migration brought about the unstable economic and political situation in conjunction with a negative population growth, the population of Serbia was getting older, which led to decrease in children available to attend school. The other major issue, one that has persisted for almost half a century, the so-called brain drain of young, talented people leaving Serbia in search of more educational opportunities and having only a few of them return. All of the objectively aggravating circumstances do not give us the right to give up on changing, modernizing, improving, and expanding our education system. They actually bring us in effort too much the needs for nurturing talented children, especially to bolster their growth, to motivate them to develop their talents and achievements here in Serbia. Since renewing its statehood, Serbia has given a lot of importance to education. The Serbian people have had to catch up to other European countries that didn't weather such setbacks in every area, economical, cultural, political. The education system had to be brought up from scratch. Since the very beginning, effort and importance was placed on enabling gifted individuals to prosper and develop their talents by using the education system. In the 19th century, the Principality and later the Kingdom of Serbia had a tendency to send gifted students abroad to study in Europe, with the goal of having them return and become a part of the elite, to actively contribute to the overall economical, cultural, educational development and prosperity of Serbia. When put in context, we can summarize that around 70% of Serbian intelligence was educated abroad during the 19th century. Those people were the chief initiators for the development and progress of Serbia throughout their whole lives. It can be said that we haven't seen a notable person in any major branch in Serbia that hasn't spent a portion of his life abroad. By developing the school system and strengthening the university centers in the Kingdom of Serbians, Christians and Croats and Slovenians, and later in the Kingdom of Yugoslavia, the number of scholarships for studying abroad was reduced, but nonetheless the best students still went abroad for further progress and postgraduate studies with the support of the country. During the period, special throughout was given to the education of gifted individuals, but concrete systematic changes were not implemented. After the Second World War in socialist Yugoslavia, where war and revolution brought about the loss of a part of the Serbian elite, a need to educate a new generation of elites arose. Starting with the 60s, we begin to notice that progress in society demands the nurturing of young talents. State assistance is seen as a requirement to help the most gifted individuals reach their full potential so that they could later use their talent, skills and knowledge for the development of Serbia. The mathematical gymnasium in Belgrade was founded in 1956, inspired by the Russian School of Mathematical Talents Kolmogorov. Later, in 1982, a group of young researchers, teachers and students, unsatisfied with the standard of educating and forming young academic departments and staff, established the research station Petnica, the first independent institution for the development of the scientific culture, scientific literacy, education and culture. After the segmentation of the Socialist Federal Republic of Yugoslavia and the wars of 1990s, during the period of transition, the problem of the education system, although pushed aside by more pressing concerns, remained in the focal point of the academic, culture, and scientific community. Starting with the 90s, Serbia began forming regional centers for talented individuals, and later, after the year 2000, the network of regional centers for talented individuals was formed. The goal to guide the most gifted students the right way by giving them support for a mentor to bolster and develop their talents. The mentors typically being university and gymnasia professors and elementary school teachers. Local governments actively supported the work those centers were doing. Various funds for the nurture of young talents start appearing. Among others, the Dositej Fund is especially active. The Serbian government awarded scholarship to talented students, and inspired by this, more and more companies have started to become involved by providing financial and logistical support as well as full-blown scholarships. Even today, now changes and innovation are appearing in the Serbian educational system, keeping it in the step with the tendencies and progress of mankind in the 21st century. Special programs for gifted students are introduced along with specialized classes and schools. Today, in the Serbian educational system, we have several programs designed to nurture promising talents. art, music and ballet schools. Sport gymnasia, philological gymnasia, the mathematical gymnasia, program from classes for students with special abilities for mathematics, programs for classes for students with special abilities for computer science and informatics, bilingual classes based on the natural and mathematical sciences stream, as well as bilingual classes based on the social linguistic sciences stream in the various gymnasia. The 7th and 8th grade program for primary school students attended at gymnasia students with special abilities for mathematics. This year, the Ministry of Education, Science and Technological Development has allocated more resources to opening more specialized computer science and informatics classes based on the interest of students and gymnasia. Serbia is the only country left over from the segmentation of the Socialist Federal Republic of Yugoslavia that has remained multi-religious and multi-ethnic. Its population is spread throughout more than 20 nationalities. Novi Sad is the second largest city in Serbia. It is the administrative center, the autonomous province of Vojvodina, located in the northern part of Serbia. In this city, on the Danube, the first and oldest international corridor, the multinationalism and multi-confessionality is something that every resident is exposed to from birth. It is seen as normal, and it's something we are proud of. Every citizen in Serbia, especially Novi Sad, starts developing his cultural competencies from an early age. The need to learn other languages is especially pronounced here and is seen as being implied as something that is standardized for everyone. Today, in the era of globalization, even more national and religiously homogeneous societies than Serbia can feel the need to embrace other languages and make an effort to do so. Becoming closed off in narrow national circles is basically unimaginable now, as it leads to self-isolation, degeneracy, and the collapse of any society. Serbia has always been open to cooperation and permutation with other cultures and societies, and that is especially pronounced now. Cultural competences are something that every citizen in Serbia is born into. Knowing a foreign language in Serbia is not something you to fluent your education or to get a better job. It's something you do to interact with your neighbor on a deeper level, to reach a better understanding with other people and to widen your circle of friends. In Serbia, everyone typically knows at last another language, if not more, besides their mother tongue. The Jovan Jovanović Zmaj Gymnasium in Novi Sad is one of the oldest educational institutions in Serbia, and with its long history spanning over 3 centuries, has underwent many changes, forms, and phases of existence and educational work. The school has had over 10 names, underwent and weathered the change of ruling countries due to territorial expansions, but the one constant in its rich history remained schooling, education, and the upbringing of future generations. The school never stopped working. It didn't allow external circumstances to affect its work. The gymnasium has always been appreciated for the high quality in all of its classes, quality that could easily be recognized due to achievements of its students during and after their schooling. From its roots in the 18th century, this institution has always been geared to cooperation with other cultures, both to the east and to the west, with a clearly defined idea that the culture exchange and honest and active cooperation with different nationalities and cultures is a necessary precursor to healthy and sustainable progress. This exchange, encompassing many cultures, nations, and languages, is a process of giving and gifting, a two-way process, a process embedded into the foundation of humanity, a process without which there would be no man or mankind. The any giving and the any receiving are in a complex relation where, depending on the point of reference, the one on the receiving side is also the one giving, and vice versa. Throughout the school's existence and work, many gifted students have passed through its walls, but still up to the end of the 20th century, no special classes were organized to accommodate them. Additional and extracurricular activities and academic clubs existed, of course. After the collapse of the unsuccessful reform initiatives, now known as the Schuler reform, the gymnasium turns more to the real problems faced by students, and increasingly takes into account the giftedness of its students. In the year 1990s, the gymnasium opened a program and classes for students gifted in mathematics that persist in this day, and in 2007, the experimental class for 7th and 8th graders of primary school, with special activities in mathematics, was opened, followed by an array of the special classes and programs. Today, besides the natural and mathematical sciences stream, in the social linguistic science stream, the Jovan Jovanović Maj Gymnasium is home to the following specialized classes for gifted individuals. The students of the gymnasium consistently achieve excellent results on the national and international competitions in mathematics, physics, computer science, philosophy, as well as in other subjects. The school is also affiliated with the research station Petnica, with many international research collaboration, and in conjecture to that, the gymnasium hosts multiple clubs, the extracurricular activities for our students, the Readers Club, the Calligraphy Club, the Drama Clubs in Serbian, Russian, French, and German, the Philosophy Club, the Chess Club, the Rhetoric and the Oration Club, the Russian Culture Club, the Biology Club, the Chemistry Club, the Art Club, the Sports Club, the Audio-Video Club, the Robotics Club, the Applied Physics and Electronics Club, Task Course, a Bridge Club, and many, many more, including the Snooker Club and the School Paper. Among the most recognizable clubs in the school, we have the school orchestra and the school choir. They have consistently, for many years, more than 200 years, from first place and gold medals on every national and international gathering and competitions they attend. Looking at the specialized mathematical, physics, and computer science programs, it is important to mention that part of the program, namely the focus subjects for the specialized classes, is carried out by professors from the University of Novi Sad. For the Faculty of Nature and Science in Novi Sad, as well as professors from the Faculty of Technical Science in Novi Sad and some sections are also carried out on university grounds using university equipment. Within the specialized sports class, we have students that have already started a serious professional career, and some of our students attend the music or ballet schools in tandem with their classes in the gymnasium. All of this is made possible thanks to the dedication and direction of the gymnasium administration, all of the school services, and the professors that take up the task of identifying the gifted students and preparing a special program of extracurricular activities while adopting the lesson plan to help develop the talents of the students on a case-to-case basis. All of this is done for a singular purpose: to enable the students to go through the required subject matter quickly and thus free up to let him do research and learn from lots of different sources to further develop his talents and interests. It is precisely because of this that professors are encouraged to constantly improve their competencies for working with gifted individuals by attending various seminars and courses. Besides supporting the development of talents in gifted students, we can't ignore the social aspect of nurturing an individual focusing on social cues and interaction. By enabling students to participate in clubs and extracurricular activities as well as cross-club activities, we encourage and enable contact and interaction between students of similar as well as of different interests. This exposes them to varied discussions, interaction, and actions that bolster their social growth. The gymnasium has a long-standing collaboration with the Goethe Institute, the French Cultural Center, the Lobachevsky State University in Nizhny Novgorod from Russia, and the International Children Camp Artek from Crimea. The gymnasium is also home to the Russian Cultural Center of the Ruski Mir Foundation. The students also enjoy a regular exchange program with Germany, Czechoslovakia, Russia, Switzerland, Romania, and Belarus, with stays ranging from 1 to 3 weeks or 1 school year. Through our interaction with the French Institute, we managed to establish a cooperative relationship with the French region of Franche-Comté, where our students go for up to a year. We are also involved in the FLEX program that enables our students to go to the United States of America and experience a school year there. In all of the mentioned international exchange programs for students are placed with host families, and that enables them to have more interaction with the culture of the countries they are staying in. All of this is very important to the development of cultural competencies in our students. By participating in those programs and by going to prestigious schools and universities throughout the world, the young people from Serbia are given the chance to tap into and master various fields of contemporary knowledge, usually with great success, but at the same time they are exposed to the culture, customs, and tradition of other nations. They forge lifelong friendships and bolstered their connections that can later be a great help in their professional and private lives. Likewise, by living abroad, those young people are ambassadors and representatives of their country, and they often have a chance to use their action to display a number of stereotypes about our country that exist in modern Europe and the West. Our stance is that actively engaging with other cultures and getting to know them and their education system and styles, the incorporating those with various cultural exchange should start at the high school age and should continue later on the university level. It is precisely because of that stance that we were among the first schools in Serbia to introduce bilingual classes and in 4 languages, nonetheless English, German, French and Russian, where part of the work is done in Serbian and part of it in one of the 4 languages. This enables our students to have better flexibility and gives them a firm starting point if they choose to continue their study abroad. Staying true to our stance, we are the first state school in Serbia to introduce the International Baccalaureate Diploma Program, or IBDP, to our students, a 2-year educational program primarily aimed at 16 to 18-year-olds. The program provides an internationally accepted qualification for entry into higher education and recognized by many universities worldwide. The program, in its essence, is more academically challenging and broader and focuses on the practical implementation of sciences as well as the mastery of theory. It is also geared to the development of talents as it allows students to choose their own subject and the level of those subjects, requiring them to choose at last 3 higher level subjects, a subject from each grouping: studies in language and literature, language acquisition, individuals and societies, science, mathematics, and arts. While also focusing in 3 core subjects, the theory of knowledge, in which students reflect on the nature of knowledge and how we know what we claim to know, the extended essay, which is in independent, self-directed pieces of research, finishing with a 4,000 word paper and a creativity, activity, service in which students complete a project related to those 3 concepts. The program aims to develop students who have excellent breadth and depth of knowledge, students who flourish physically, intellectually, emotionally, and ethically. The program also started its 70+ years of research with all of the professors in IB schools with advanced training and seminars that truly expands the views of educators and enables them to properly work with students and gather more insight. One of the key features of the IB diploma program is that it is in a constant state of self-assessment, review and improvement, always adapting to new discoveries and adopting the lesson plans to match them. The very act of wanting to participate in any the mentioned programs is a sign that the students have talent and drive to pursue the development of that talent. The main task of education is to assist in developing and perfecting talents that individual students possess, and the greatest only the students can have while striving for self-improvement. Is it the school and the educational system? It is precisely because of that the school system needs to be able to adapt to the needs of the individual students in a way to best bolster the development of his talent without forgetting the social aspect of education, such as ethics and morals. We need experts that, besides being actualized talents with varied expertise, need to have a well-built moral system based on social norms and ethics and well-established cultural competitions that they can use a compass throughout life and work. Because we can no longer view the environment around in close-mindedly or in segmented fashion, the world is slowly starting to unite and the lines between societies are starting to blur and fuse. We need to prepare our future generation to view the entirety of mankind as a single society so that it can strive towards the betterment of everyone on earth. Thank you.